Hey guys, it's Marianne from Thrive Admin Services. In this video, I am sharing with you some really quick, simple ways that you can work more efficiently with your worksheet tabs in Microsoft Excel. Specifically, we're talking about color coding and moving them around, both in the same workbook and from workbook to workbook. So these are really useful tools to help you sort, group, organize all of your worksheet tabs so that you can easily move from tab to tab and know exactly where you are headed. Now remember, in the video I am working on a Mac on the desktop using Microsoft 365 Business Standard. So if you have anything that's different, working on a PC, working on the web, or working on an older version of Microsoft, or indeed a home version, some of your buttons may look a little bit different. So let's get started. Okay, so my first tip for working with your worksheets and worksheet tabs in Excel is to color code them. And it's a great opportunity for you to reinforce your branding. So you can see in this one, I'm using my business income tracking tool. And if you've got one of these already, you'll know that it comes with these 3 tabs already set up. So we've got the total year, we've got the annual super contributions and the annual mileage. And I've popped an extra sheet in here just to show you the difference. So this is the primary sheet that we use all the time. And so I want that to look quite different. So what I've done is I've right-clicked by having my cursor over the title here. We right-click and we go to tab color. So you can have no color, and that will just give you that gray tab. You can choose any of the standard theme colors or standard colors. And then you can go more colors. Now this window, obviously this looks like this because I'm working on a Mac, but if you're working on a PC, you'll have your more colors, your color picker come up as well. And I can manually type in the hex color. I can put my RGB codes in. And once I've chosen that color, it will appear down here in my recent colors. So you can see I've used all of these other ones. And if I wanted to, I can test and play around with what I want it to be. But this is my brand palette. So I'm making that one the navy. And as I move across, you'll see that these two are both using this very light sage color, minty green. And that means that they kind of look like they belong together. And then this one is slightly different. If I change my mind and I want it to be, I might say, well, I'm not using that one anymore. So we're going to make it like a rusty color. And I can do that. And you can see it is automatically adjusting the color of the font to suit so that it's still quite visible on the color. All right, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how we can move the sheets around within our workbook. So we can move them in 2 ways. We can manually drag them around, which is quite straightforward. You just click on the title and hold the mouse down, and then you can drag it across. Once you have clicked on it, you should see the little this little page that the pointer has turned into, and then the little black arrow there between sheets shows you where you will move it to. So if I wanted to put it back to the end, I can do that. And then if I wanted it to sit between these, you can see the little black arrow sits between them like this, okay? So I can move this sheet this way, or I can move the sheet via some steps in a menu. And to do that, we right-click on the title of the sheet, and we take this option, which is Move or Copy. And it then lets me know I'm putting it in this workbook, and where do I want it to go. I'm choosing which one I want my sheet to move in front of. So you can pop it straight to the end, which is great if you have lots of sheets. But I want to pop it in between these 2 here. So I'm going to pop it in front of this one so it will actually sit in this line here. If I wanted to create a copy, it would duplicate the sheet. So it would leave sheet 1 where it is, and then it would make a copy of it in the space I've allocated. But we just want to move it for now. And you can see it's moved it. Obviously working quickly, and if you've only got a few sheets, this is the easiest way to go. If you have lots and lots of sheets that scroll all the way past here, then you would probably use the menu option. So now that we can see how we're moving sheets around within the same workbook, I'm going to show you how you can move them from one workbook to another. Now to do that, you need to have multiple workbooks open and we can use exactly the same way we moved it around internally within the same workbook. We can move it between them. Now, normally I would have this on 2 separate screens, but for video purposes, I've split my screen and I've got them full size tiled side by side. So this is the sheet we were working in before, which is my income tracking tool. This one over here is my budget and forecasting tool. Now I've got 4 sheets in this one and I've got 3 and a spare in this one. So I might decide I would like this year income tracker. I want it in here with my financial year tracker for my forecast so that all of my financial data is in one workbook. So the drag and drop method will work while they're here on the screen. So I select this one until I get that little icon changed, the mouse point changes, and then I can drag it across and I can choose, same as I did here if I wanted to move it. I'm literally just choosing where I want it to go. So I'm going to pop this in here and you will see it has removed it from this workbook and it has inserted it here. If I change my mind and go, oh, that's definitely not what I wanted to do, I didn't want that to happen, I will now move it to here. Okay, so that is the easiest way to do that if you've got the workbooks open. The next option is to do it the same way that we did internally. So we can right click and go move or copy. And in this instance, we're actually changing the book it goes to. Now here, it's going to choose the books that are existing and open. So you must always have these sheets or these workbooks open. And I can choose to put it into this one and it will give me, oh look, here are all of the tabs in this open book. And I can decide I'm going to put it at the end or I'm going to put it in front of any of these. So we'll do exactly the same. Now in this instance, I might want to create a copy so that it's sitting over here. So if I do it this way, it's made a copy. So this one still sits here. This one still sits here. They are not linked. They don't talk to each other anymore. This is one separate workbook from this one. But it's a really easy way for me. And I can pull this over now. I could have 2 of these in here. Okay, so it gives me loads of options in terms of being able to move these around and play around with them. So I hope that those were some useful tips for you. I find the color coding really helpful because it helps me put different tabs that I need in certain sections. I can sort of color code by stages, I can color code by client, I can color code by particular function. And there is no limit to the colors as long as you've got those hex codes or RGB codes, you can customize them really beautifully. If you have any questions about anything that's in the video, then the best thing to do is get in touch with me directly. You can find me hanging out on Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn under Thrive Admin Services. You can send me a message there and I would be more than happy to help you out. Otherwise, check out Microsoft Dynamos on Facebook. It is the place to get more tips and tricks like this so that you can grow your Microsoft 365 knowledge and get more bang for your buck from your subscription.